Welcome back to Wives Gone Wild. Thank you for your loyalty. What town are you in right now? We're curious where these secrets find you. Here's today's cheating wife story. She was drunk when she said it. Words that cut deeper than any betrayal. I was never attracted to you, and I can't stop seeing other men. I sat there, frozen. The woman I built a life with, the woman I worked tirelessly for, was telling me, so casually, that I was nothing more than a convenience. That night, as she passed out, I made my decision. My name is Phil, and I've always believed that hard work could fix anything. It's how I was raised. Put in the effort, push through, and everything will fall into place. That belief shaped my life, especially my marriage. Every day was a cycle of meetings, deadlines, and deals. I worked hard, not just for myself, but for us. I wanted to give her a life where she never had to worry about a thing. When I wasn't working, she was all I thought about. I'd bring home gifts from business trips. I planned weekend getaways. I tried to make up for lost time. Because love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up and trying. At least, that's what I thought. Looking back, maybe I got it wrong. But at the time, I truly believed effort could fix anything. Lately, things felt off. She barely acknowledged me anymore. At first, I brushed it off. We were newly married, just 2 years in. I figured we were settling into routine. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. I told myself she was just stressed. Maybe she was tired, going through a phase. If I worked harder, showed her more love, surely we'd find our way back. That's what I believed. But I was wrong. I decided to do something about it. She used to love my cooking. So, I spent the entire afternoon preparing her favorite meal, chicken parmesan with garlic mashed potatoes, just like on our first date. I dimmed the lights, set the table with candles, and picked out a playlist of slow, soft songs she used to love. It was my way of saying, I see you. I miss you. I'm trying. When she walked through the door, her eyes widened. Wow, she murmured, taking it all in. For a second, I thought I saw something, gratitude, maybe? She kissed my cheek, sat down, and smiled. We ate, and for the first time in months, things felt light. She laughed, joked, complimented my cooking, and for a moment, I thought, maybe we're okay. Then came her third glass of wine. At first, it was subtle. She leaned back in her chair, words coming slower, looser. Then she set her glass down, looked at me, and said it. You're a nice guy? You make sure I'm okay. That's why I'm here. I frowned. What do you mean? She laughed softly, almost pitying. I mean, I've never really been attracted to you. Not in that way. The words hit me like a freight train. But she wasn't finished. Leaning forward, she rested her chin in her hand, like she was sharing a casual secret. You're sweet, gentle, safe, but you're not my type. And then, as if that wasn't enough, she dropped the final blow. She had met her type, and she couldn't resist him. One thing led to another. She didn't even have to say it. I knew what she meant. I sat there, nodding like a fool, while my wife casually shattered me. On the outside, I was calm. But inside, something in me snapped. This wasn't an apology. It wasn't even regret. It was a drunken justification, as if I needed to understand why she betrayed me. At that moment, I realized I didn't need to yell. I didn't need to fight. I just needed to let her finish. And then, I needed to disappear. That night, as she slept soundly, I lay awake in the dark. Her words replayed in my head. She wasn't sorry. She didn't even care. And that's when I knew there was no going back. By sunrise, I would be gone. That morning, I got up like I always did, quietly, deliberately. No sudden movements. No signs that anything was different. But this time, I wasn't coming back. She was still asleep, her breathing soft and steady, as if the night before had never happened. I didn't leave a note. No explanations. No goodbyes. Just the cold, empty space where I used to be. I didn't make impulsive decisions. That wasn't who I was. So, before I walked away from my marriage, I made sure everything was in place. The first call I made was to my lawyer. Draft the divorce papers, I told him. I want a clean break. No second chances. Then, I called my accountant. Liquidate everything I have tied to her. He was efficient. By the end of the day, every joint asset had been separated. My accounts were clear. My financial ties to her, erased. Next, I called my family. I didn't give them all the details, just enough. If she reaches out, don't entertain her. Don't share my whereabouts. Don't tell her anything. They understood. And just like that, I was gone before she even realized I had left. The first sign that something was wrong must have been when she woke up to an empty house. Maybe she thought I had gone to work as usual. Maybe she didn't think much of it at first. But then, she would have checked her phone. No texts. No missed calls. Nothing. The silence must have unsettled her. Then, as the hours passed, she would have started to feel it. The weight of what she had done. The consequences of the words she so carelessly spoke. And when she finally tried to reach me, she found out the truth. She called. Of course she did. First my phone, then my family, then my lawyer. But no one gave her answers. All she got was a single message, delivered through my attorney. You'll receive the divorce papers soon. No explanations. No apologies. Just the cold, hard reality of what she had lost. At first, she refused to sign. Maybe she thought she could salvage what we had. Or maybe she just didn't want to lose the stability I had always provided. But when she saw the financial settlement, she caved. After all, she had always prioritized herself. And just like that, it was over. When I walked out of that marriage, I didn't think about what would happen to her. I wasn't angry. I wasn't seeking revenge. I just wanted to be free. She had made her choice. Now, she had to live with it. And for the first time in a long time, so did I. At first, she thought she had won. She got what she wanted, freedom, excitement, the chance to live without me. For a while, life seemed good for her. She went out more. She surrounded herself with new people. She spent money without thinking. She even joked to her friends about how she was finally living the life she deserved. But the thing about people like her, they never think past the moment. Eventually, life catches up. She burned through the divorce settlement faster than anyone expected. New clothes, luxurious vacations, dinners, drinks, weekends away. Every thrill she thought she had missed in our marriage. She chased it with reckless abandon. But the thing about fast money, it never lasts. By the time reality set in, she was in debt. Deep debt. And then came the final blow, the thing she never saw coming. She was pregnant. The father? Gone. The moment she told him, he disappeared. No calls. No messages. No support. She was left to deal with it alone. That was when everything started unraveling. The money was gone. The friends who cheered her on when life was fun, they vanished too. At first, she asked for help. Then, she begged. She needed money, babysitting, a place to stay. But no one wanted to take on her burden. She had made her choices, and now she was living them. In the end, she had no choice but to sell the house, the one thing left from our life together. It wasn't her house anymore. She had traded stability for excitement. Now, she had neither. And just like that, the life she once had, the one she threw away, was gone. She thought she had been escaping something. But the truth? She had been running straight into a wall. And when she finally hit it, there was no one left to catch her. Years passed. My life had moved on, not in some dramatic, flashy way, but in quiet, steady steps. I built something new for myself. Something stable. Something real. And then, one day she found me. It was an ordinary afternoon. I was at home, sitting by the window with a book in hand, when the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. But when I opened the door, there she was. She looked the same. Not bad. Not broken, just there. Still put together. Still carrying herself with that same quiet confidence. But her eyes told another story. She stared at me, searching, waiting to see my reaction. But I felt nothing. Just a cold, quiet detachment. She took a breath and finally spoke. I've been trying to find you for years, she said, her voice shaking. I needed to tell you how sorry I am. She paused, waiting for me to say something. But I didn't. So she kept going. Her words tumbled out, desperate and messy. She talked about regret, about loneliness, about how she had lost everything. She even admitted the truth about her past, about how she thought she could have it all. I thought I could find excitement somewhere else and still keep you. But I was wrong. Her hands trembled as she clasped them together. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. Tears streamed down her face. And then, the words I knew were coming. Please, I need you. I've never stopped needing you. I looked at her, really looked at her. And for the first time in years, I felt something. Not anger, not sadness, just clarity. I leaned in slightly, my voice calm, steady. You made your choice, I said. You were never attracted to me, remember? I wasn't your type. So go find your type and see if he wants you now. She flinched, as if my words had physically hit her. But I wasn't done. I don't care what you regret. I don't care how much you've suffered. That's your burden to carry, not mine. And then, I did the one thing she never expected. I stepped back. I closed the door. And I walked away, without a second thought. She had searched for closure. But closure wasn't something I needed. The past was the past. And I had no interest in reopening it. Because in losing her, I had found myself. And that was the only closure I would ever need. Some people think walking away is weakness. But sometimes, it's the bravest thing you can do. I've learned that when someone shows you who they truly are, you have two choices. Stay and accept it, or walk away and reclaim your worth. Love isn't just about feelings. It's about respect. And the moment someone stops respecting you, you have to make a choice. Because if you don't, you'll spend your life justifying their mistreatment. I could have fought for her. I could have stayed, demanded explanations, begged for her to see my worth. But why fight for someone who had already thrown me away? The truth is, some people will only value you when they no longer have access to you. And by then, it's too late. Leaving wasn't easy. It was painful. It was lonely. But being alone was better than being with someone who made me feel like I wasn't enough. And that's something I want every person listening to remember. If someone makes you feel small, invisible, or unworthy, you don't fight to prove yourself. You walk away, not as revenge, not as a lesson to them, but as a gift to yourself. Now, let me ask you something. If you were in my shoes, you planned a dinner to reconnect with your spouse, only to hear them admit, over wine, no less, that they were never truly attracted to you and had been with other people behind your back. Would you stay? Try to fix something that was never whole to begin with? Or would you leave, knowing that you deserve more? Be honest with yourself. And if you've ever had to walk away from someone who didn't see your worth, share your story in the comments. Because sometimes, the best thing you can do for yourself is to let go. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. And remember, your worth is never defined by someone who couldn't see it. See you in the next story.